At this point I do just want to tidy up to that line. I did leave a little bit more of the line on that I wanted to, just to make sure that I hadn't pushed back too far. And because my chisel is nice and sharp, I can actually lean it against the edge of the cut like a knife, and it will roll forward and slice the fibres away, rather than trying to attempt it going straight down with the full edge of the chisel blade trying to cut all the fibres at once. If I lie it over to the side and just roll it down my line like I'm slicing, it's a much easier way to chisel out the remaining waste in that pocket to the line without causing any damage in and around the lines that form up that edge for the tread. And you can see as the saw blade, when I was doing my pocket cutting, came out, the diameter of the blade doesn't get right in at full depth to the 10 millimeters in this location. And if I take my chisel and try and drop it down that line, because there's resistance, it's going to push the chisel back out, and I'm going to get a very bad connection point between the face edge of the tread and the face of the string material. I don't want to have that. I want a beautiful, nice, clean front edge for the customer. So in order to move this material, I'm just going to drop my chisel in at a slight angle and just cut the fibres in that pocket like that, making sure as I do it that I stay well away from the guidelines. And then I'm going to turn my chisel almost to 90 degrees to those first cuts, and I'm just going to semi-roughly allow it to cross-cut against my original ones. And as you can see, it chips out. The material starts to chip away and chip out in that area, and that's fantastic. What am I doing? I'm removing the resistance. As I want to cut into this line, I want all the waste material to come back into the pocket just like it did with the wafer cutting when I plunge cut. If I can remove this waste material here before I try and go to those guidelines, I'm going to get a nice, clean connection joint. So I'm going to put that cut 2 to 3 millimeters inside the edge there, and I'm going to imagine for the moment that's going to be my guideline. I'm going to chisel everything out up to that point, which won't take long because I've made all those chipping cuts on the inside there, so they all just pop out now. Just lightly tap the chisel there, just watch for any breakout. You can see now all that waste is gone. I can come back again with my chisel, line it up with that front edge. In fact, I'll do it this side because I'll go with the grain again on the cross cut, the perpendicular cut to the grain. And you can see the chisel did not push back and breach the line. It pushed all the waste to the area where there's no resistance. And that's what we're after. Really simple trick when you go chiseling. Pine can be a little bit cranky, it can be a little bit breakout, and that might break out through the face of the string material where I don't want it to. And I hope you can see that there is just a millimetre or two of line left there, and I'm just going to pop that chisel back on that line, give it one hit, come back for a second, just undercut it slightly. I'm going to go to that line again, one hit, and then just undercut it slightly. Not too much, you don't want a big undercut, just a slight undercut. Big test, then you'll find if you pop the tread material in, you're going to end up with a very reasonable fit from your lines to the face edge face side of the tread material that the customer will suit with a nice, tight, clean definition line where the joint is. That's great. Same principle, going with the grain. I'm just undercutting. I'm not going on the face edge there, it's just undercutting but clearing out with the grain. Down this side. And levelling off the bottom of the pocket. Awesome.